Look, I'm gonna say something that might make some of you uncomfortable. The core team delayed Validator rewards again. I didn't rush to make a video about it. I took time to dig deep and understand why. And what I found actually made me respect the decision more. I know exactly what you're thinking because I've read the comments. I've seen the frustration. I've felt it too. But before you close this video, before you let that anger take over, hear me out. Because what most pioneers are missing is this. What looks like a setback on the surface may actually be one of the smartest protection moves the core team has made in years. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly why. Hello again, Pi Network pioneers. I'm your host, Nathan. Before we dive deep into our video, let's greet and welcome my incredible pioneers from around the world. Whether you're watching from Nigeria, Papua New Guinea, United States, India, Philippines, Canada, Kenya, or anywhere else on this beautiful planet, I'm thrilled to share this incredible news with you today. Before we continue, make sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss any Pi Network updates. And don't forget to drop a comment saying Pi Network to the moon along with your country and flag. Let's fill the comments with pioneer pride and show the world how powerful and united our global community really is. Now, let's dive in. So, December 8th, 2025, that's when the announcement dropped. Validator rewards pushed to Q1 2026. And listen, I'm not going to stand here and pretend that didn't sting. I know some of you have been running nodes for months. You've invested time, energy, maybe even upgraded your internet just to keep your validation scores high. And now you're being told to wait longer. I get it. The frustration is real. The exhaustion is real. But here's where I need you to pause with me for a second, because there's something happening behind the scenes that the angry comments aren't seeing. And it has everything to do with what happens when massive amounts of Pi suddenly enter circulation at the wrong time. Stay with me, because this gets interesting. Think about it like this. Right now, Pi Network is in a controlled mainnet environment. We're building liquidity slowly. We're adding exchanges one at a time. Merchants are testing the waters. The ecosystem is growing, but it's fragile. It's like a young tree. It's alive, it's rooted, but it's not ready for a hurricane yet. Now, imagine the core team releases Validator rewards today. Millions of Pi flood the market all at once. What do you think happens next? Here's what I think happens, and I could be wrong, but hear me out. A chunk of those validators, maybe not all, but enough, they're going to sell. Not because they don't believe in Pi, not because they're disloyal, but because life happens. Bills come due, emergencies pop up. Some people just want to cash out after waiting so long. That's human nature, no judgment. But when that selling pressure hits a market that's still finding its footing, what happens to the price? It drops. Hard. And when the price drops, what happens next? FUD spreads like wildfire. Social media explodes. YouTubers who never believed in Pi anyway start making videos titled Pi Network is collapsing. New pioneers panic. They see the price falling and they think the project is dying. We can sell. The cycle feeds itself. And suddenly the ecosystem we've been building for 6 years takes a massive hit. Not because the project failed, but because the timing was wrong. Now, does that mean I'm happy about the delay? No. Does it mean I think the core team communicated this perfectly? Also no. But does it mean I understand why they might be choosing to wait? Absolutely. And here's the part that most people are missing. The core team didn't just say we're delaying it because we feel like it. They gave a reason. They said the complexity of task data and fairness calculations require more time. Now, I know that sounds like corporate speak. I know it sounds like an excuse, but let me ask you something. What does complexity actually mean in this context? It means the validator network is real. It means there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands of pioneers running nodes. It means there's actual data to calculate, actual rewards to distribute fairly. If this was a scam, if this was a fake project, would they even bother with fairness calculations? Would they care if some validators got more than others? No, they'd just dump tokens and disappear. But that's not what's happening here. What's happening is the core team is trying to make sure that when rewards finally hit, no pioneer gets shortchanged. No one can say, I ran my node perfectly and got less than someone who barely participated. That takes time. that takes precision. And honestly, that's the kind of integrity that builds long-term trust, even if it's painful right now. But here's the bigger picture that I think is completely overlooked, and this is where the strategy piece really comes into play. Q1 2026 isn't just a random timeline. It's not the core team throwing darts at a calendar. Q1 2026 is when the open network is supposed to be more mature, more stable, more ready to absorb large amounts of Pi entering circulation. Think about where we'll be in 3, 4, 5 months. More exchanges, more merchant adoption, more utility apps in the ecosystem, more global recognition. The infrastructure will be stronger, the liquidity will be deeper. And when validator rewards finally release into that environment, the market can handle it. Validators can spend their Pi, they can trade it, they can hold it, but the system doesn't collapse under the weight of sudden selling pressure. This isn't a delay, it's a delayed detonation. And the difference matters, because when those rewards finally go off, they're not going to destroy the ecosystem, they're going to fuel the next wave of growth. That's the theory, that's what I think is happening here, and I'll admit I could be completely wrong. Maybe the core team is just overwhelmed and can't get it done faster. Maybe the fairness calculations are harder than they expected. But even if that's true, the outcome is the same. We wait. And while we wait, the ecosystem gets stronger. Now, I want to address something I've been seeing in the comments on other videos. A lot of pioneers are comparing this to other delays. They're saying the core team always does this. They always push things back. How do we know this isn't just another broken promise? And look, I hear you. I've been frustrated by delays too. We all have. But I want you to think about something for a second. Every major crypto project in history has faced delays. Bitcoin didn't launch perfectly. Ethereum didn't launch perfectly. There were bugs, there were setbacks, there were moments when the community doubted everything. But the projects that survived, the projects that thrived, were the ones that prioritized getting it right over getting it fast. And I think that's what's happening here with Pi Network. The core team could rush validator rewards. They could release them tomorrow if they wanted to ignore the risks, but they're not doing that. They're choosing to take the heat, to deal with the frustration, to endure the criticism, because they believe waiting is better for the long-term health of the project. And honestly, I respect that, even if it's painful right now.
But let me be real with you for a second. There's a part of me that wonders if the core team underestimated how hard this would be. There's a part of me that wonders if they announced the delay too late, if they could have communicated better, if they could have prepared us for this outcome sooner. And I think those are fair questions. I think the core team could do better with transparency. I think they could give us more frequent updates, more detailed explanations, more insight into what's actually happening behind the scenes. But here's the thing. Even with those criticisms, even with those doubts, I still believe the direction is correct. I still believe delaying validator rewards until the ecosystem is stronger is the right call. Because the alternative, releasing rewards into a vulnerable market, feels like a disaster waiting to happen. And I'd rather wait and be frustrated than watch the price crash and the ecosystem crumble. Now, let's talk about what happens next, because Q1 2026 is the new target. But that doesn't mean we just sit around doing nothing until then. This is actually the perfect time for pioneers to focus on building, focus on adoption, focus on getting more merchants to accept Pi, focus on using the ecosystem apps, focus on educating new pioneers about what we're building here. Because when those validator rewards finally release, the stronger the ecosystem is, the better those rewards will perform. If we have thousands of merchants accepting Pi by Q1 2026, validators can spend their rewards immediately. They don't have to sell on exchanges. They can use Pi for real goods and services. And that kind of utility, that kind of real-world adoption, is what protects the price long-term. So yes, the delay is frustrating. Yes, it feels like we're always waiting for the next milestone. But that waiting time isn't wasted if we use it to build. And I think that's the opportunity a lot of pioneers are missing right now. Instead of focusing on what the core team isn't doing, let's focus on what we can do. Let's focus on the part of the ecosystem we control. And here's the other thing I want you to remember. This project is 6 years old. 6 years. Bitcoin took 12 years to hit $60,000. Ethereum took years to prove that smart contracts were even viable. Most people thought both projects were scams in the early days. Most people laughed at the idea of digital money with no central bank. And now those people are kicking themselves for not getting in early. Pi Network is still in the early stages. We're still in the controlled mainnet rollout phase. We're still building the foundation. And yes, it's taking longer than a lot of us expected, but that doesn't mean it's failing. It means it's being built carefully. And the projects that get built carefully are the ones that last. The core team isn't delaying validator rewards because they're incompetent. They're not delaying because they're trying to scam us. They're delaying because they're trying to protect what we've spent 6 years building. Every delay, every calculation, every complexity they mention is them making sure that when the floodgates finally open, we're standing on solid ground, not quicksand. So yes, Q1 2026 feels far away. It feels like another finish line that keeps moving. But I want you to think about it differently. It's not a finish line, it's a launch pad. And the longer the core team takes to get the launch trajectory right, the higher we fly when it's finally time to take off. Now, I'm not going to stand here and tell you this is easy. I'm not going to tell you to ignore your frustration or pretend the delay doesn't matter. It does matter. Your feelings are valid. But I am going to tell you this. Patience is a superpower in crypto. The people who made life-changing money in Bitcoin and Ethereum weren't the ones who panicked at every delay. They weren't the ones who sold when things got hard. They were the ones who believed in the vision, who understood the long-term potential, and who held through the frustration. And I think Pi Network is offering us the same opportunity right now, the same test, the same choice. Do we panic and walk away, or do we trust the process, stay patient, and keep building? I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to stay. I'm choosing to believe that the core team is making the best decisions they can with the information they have. I'm choosing to focus on what I can control, which is spreading adoption, educating new pioneers, and supporting the ecosystem. And I'm choosing to trust that when Q1 2026 arrives and those validator rewards finally hit, we're going to be glad we waited. Because this isn't just about getting paid. It's about building something that lasts, something that changes lives, something that creates real financial inclusion for people who've been left out of the traditional system for too long. And that kind of mission, that kind of vision is worth waiting for. It's worth fighting for. It's worth staying patient for. So to every pioneer watching this right now, whether you're frustrated, exhausted, or just tired of waiting, I see you. I hear you. I feel it too. But I also believe in what we're building. I believe in the potential of Pi Network, and I believe that the delays, as painful as they are part of the process of getting it right. Stay patient. Stay loyal. Your belief is your power. And when this project finally reaches its full potential, you're going to look back at this moment and realize that the wait was worth it. I truly believe that, and I hope you do too. Pi Network to the moon, pioneers. Let's keep building.